So, dear children, before going to the next step of studying algebra of limits, let me conclude what we studied so far. Here we studied how to evaluate the value of a function at a point x equal to a where the function is not defined at that point. For example, this is the x-axis, this is a y-axis. A function is defined and a point in the domain is given, x is equal to a. The function is like this, it should be the function value. This should be the function value. But here the function is not defined at that particular point. Yesterday we have seen signum functions, step functions, post office functions, this type of function we already studied. So if there is a hole, how to calculate this? At that time only we are studying x minus some value. What is the function value? This is the function value. And this at the right side. This is the function value. Now this difference is coming closer. X is tending to a from its left side. Similarly, x is tending, that point is tending to the point A from the right side. We used to call the left hand limit and right hand limit. So we can write like this. Limit x tends to a minus fx. Limit x tends to a plus fx. This is called the left hand limit. This is called the right hand limit. If the left hand limit is equal to the right hand limit, we used to tell there's a limit exists. Function value doesn't matter. Function value is different, something else. Limit value is something else. Function value, what is the function value? In the function, directly substitute x is equal to a, that is the function value. Why we are calculating left hand limit, right hand limit? Because the function is not defined, there is a hole. There's a hole in that function. There's a gap. That's what we are approaching the point A from the left side and right side. It approaches not exactly that value. Whatever maybe the value is coming, this L, value is L, this value is also L. Therefore, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. So the value is equal to L. L is not exactly the function value, but it is very close. Approaches. Train approaches the station. That's what we have studied so far. Now, after we study the limit and the definition of limit, let us go to the algebra of limit. Today we are going to see what is algebra of limits. We have the four fundamental operations: plus, minus, addition, subtractions. And with the plus force function, there are two functions I define. Fx and gx are two functions. The first algebra of limit says sum of the limit is equal to limit of the sum. See, limit of fx plus gx as x tends to a. Limit of the sum is equal to sum of the limits. Limit x tends to a fx plus limit x tends to a gx. The first algebra of limit is limit of the sum. These are the things we are going to apply there in the problems. How to evaluate the limit of a given functions. Limit of the sum is equal to sum of the limit. First rule. The second rule is limit of the difference is equal to difference of the limit. Limit of fx minus gx is equal to limit of fx minus limit of gx. First and second. Now third rule says limit of the product, that is fx into gx, is equal to product of the limit. So, my dear children, limit of the sum is equal to sum of the limits, limit of the difference is equal to difference of the limit, limit of the product is equal to product of the limit. Now come to the quotient. We have to be little careful. Whenever we are dividing something, some other number, if the some other number is a 0, that is not defined. X by 0 is not defined. 0 by x is defined. 0 by x is, if x is not 0, then it is 0 only it is. If it is 0 by 0, it's again undefined. So the denominator should not be 0. So therefore we have to be little careful about the fourth one. Limit of the quotient is equal to quotient of the limit. Limit of the quotient is equal to quotient of the limit, provided, be careful, provided the denominator should not be 0. If the limit of x tends to a of gx, if it is 0, this rule is not applicable. So you have to be very careful. Okay. The fifth one is limit of a scalar multiple of a function. Lambda is a scalar. Any values. Alpha, beta, gamma, anything you can take it as instead of lambda. Is a constant. Constant into fx. The constant will come out. Limit x tends to a of fx. These are the rules. These are the algebra. In any branches we are having the algebra. Same way in the here also we are having the algebra of limit. So limit of the sum is equal to sum of the limit. Limit of the difference is equal to difference of the limit. Limit of the product is equal to product of the limit. Limit of the quotient is equal to quotient of the limit, provided the denominator limit is not 0. Then the fifth one is the scalar multiple of a function. Limit of a scalar multiple is equal to the scalar multiple into limit. Limit of lambda into fx equal to lambda into limit of fx. Then the sixth one. Limit of a polynomial. We know what is a polynomial. Polynomial is a algebraic expression in which the power is a only positive integers. Otherwise, you can call it as a whole numbers. If it is a negative number, it is not a polynomial, it is only algebraic expressions. If a polynomial is given, if I want to find out the limit of the polynomial at x equal to some value, limit x tends to a of a polynomial px. We know the standard polynomial. That is, standard polynomial is ax power n plus b x n minus 1, etc. goes on. Where n is a positive integers or whole numbers. That is equal to the polynomial value itself. Wherever x comes, you substitute x is equal to a and that value is the polynomial. So, the fundamental 4 operations for algebraic expressions also, the limits are applicable as it is. Limit of the sum is equal to sum of the limits. Limit of the product is equal to product of the limit. Limit of the difference equal to difference of the limit. Limit of the quotient is equal to the quotient of the limit, provided the denominator not equal to 0. Scalar multiple of a function is this and polynomial value is this. Another very important rule which you already studied also, binomial theorem you studied in this year itself. Limit x tends to a of x power n minus a power n by x minus a is equal to n into a power n minus 1. Another formula which we can easily evaluate is a polynomial in x. Degree is n. Is a linear polynomial x minus a. Just to divide, just like this. If you are dividing like this, what you will get a quotient will be, it will come, the n terms will come x minus a into x power n minus 1 plus x power n minus 2 into a plus x power n minus 3 into a square. It will go on like that. Last term is x power n minus 1. Now substitute x is equal to a here. This will get cancelled. X minus a will get cancelled. We are dividing this. So substitute x is equal to a. A power n minus 1. This a power n minus 2 into a power, that is a power n minus 1. A power n minus 1, a power n minus 1, n terms of a power n minus 1 will get. That is equal to n into a power n minus 1. Simple. Okay, let us continue by seeing how to evaluate the limits. In evaluating the limit, we are going to see that in different 4 types. One is by direct substitutions. Another is if a function is defined at the given point in the form of 0 by 0. And we are going to rationalize this and by using a formula also. So these are the 4 methods we are going to see that. Let us come to the direct substitution. What is direct substitution? Suppose limit x tends to a, f of x. You are asked to find out, you are asked to evaluate the limit of the function fx at the given point x is equal to a. Direct substitution means replace the variable x by the given number x is equal to a. That's all. So therefore the value will be f of a. Very simple. For example, limit x tends to 3 of 6x square plus 3x plus 7. That is equal to 6 into 3 square plus 3 into 3 plus 7. That is 6 into 9 plus 9 plus 7. Therefore 54 plus 9 plus 7. So it is 70. 70 is the answer. So another example, limit x tends to 1 of x square plus 5x plus 6. It's a polynomial. We already seen this formula. Limit of a function for a polynomial, the function polynomial value itself. Substitute x is equal to that particular value, you will get the answer. So this is a polynomial, that's also a polynomial only. So it is 1 square plus 5 into 1 plus 6. 5 plus 1, 6 plus 12. Directly you substitute the variables. Now another example, another method, if suppose the function is in the form of 0 by 0 form. Suppose the function is given x square minus 4 by x minus 2. You are asked to find the limit value at x. Find the limit x tends to 2 of fx. This is a given problem. Function fx is defined and you are asked to evaluate the limit x tends to a of the function fx. If you replace the x is equal to 2 here, 4 minus 4 by 2 minus 2, it is 0 by 0 form, an indeterminate form. Because of some factor only it is coming to indeterminate form. So in this method, what we have to do that, try to factorize the given expressions and try to cancel out those common factor because of which it is coming 0 by 0 form. See, for example, in this case, limit x tends to 2 fx is equal to limit x tends to 2 of x square minus 4 by x minus 2. My dear children, we know how to factorize this. It is nothing but x plus 2 into x minus 2. Now there is a common factor in the numerator and denominator, because of that only it is coming 0 by 0 form. So this x minus 2, the common factor, you can cancel it out. Why? Because the given problem is x tends to 2 only, it's not x is equal to 2. Though this x minus 2 is not 0. For a non-zero numbers, we can cancel it out. So cancel that. So limit x tends to 2 of x plus 2, that is 4. For the same thing, another problem. Limit x tends to 3 of x cube minus 27 by x minus 3. Here also, function is this. We have to find out the limit value at x tends to 3. Why? F of 3 is not existing. F of 3 is not existing. Why? Because it is coming 0 by 0 form, an indeterminate form. For indeterminate form, we cannot evaluate. 0 by 0 is not 0. It is indeterminate form. So x tends to 3, 27 minus 27 by 3 minus 3, that is 0 by 0. So we have to factorize this. First, factorize this. If at all there is any common factors in the numerator denominator exist, cancel it out. If no factors are there, then it is not defined. Limits are not defined. I will come back to this. Limit x tends to 3, x cube minus 3 cube. And this can be written as x minus 3 into x square plus a square plus ab. 3 into x plus 3 square. So here common factor can be cancelled, and that is equal to 3 square plus 3 into 3 plus 3 square. That is 9, 9, 9, 27. See, for example, suppose you are asked to evaluate this by plus. It is not 0 by 0 form. Whereas it is something by 0. This is a denominator 0. Even after denominator 0 is indeterminate form. Suppose if this is minus and this is plus. Let us take the function like this. X cube minus 27 by x plus 3. If you directly substitute in the value x equal to 3, it is 0 by 6. 0 by 6 is not indeterminate. The answer is 0. So directly we can write the answer is 0. Suppose if it is plus and if it is minus, it is some value, positive value, and this is 0. Something by 0 is again indeterminate. We have to try to cancel the common factors out, if at all there exists. I made it very clear, if at all there exists. So x minus 3, x plus 3 into this minus, and this is x minus 3. X cube plus 27 can be written as x cube plus 3 cube. That can be a cube minus plus b cube is equal to a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square by x minus 3. So this we cannot cancel anything. So it is coming not defined. Once it is coming again not defined, limit value does not exist. We cannot evaluate. Even if it is asked in the examination, straight away we can write the limit value does not exist. There is no limit value. You are evaluated that. You evaluated and you are telling that it is not existing. That's all, finished. So now let us come to the third method of evaluating the limit. First method, we have seen that direct substitution. Second method, we have seen that if a function value or for the given number, given value, if it is coming 0 by 0 form. The third is rationalizing factor. Now, your function fx is given, you are asked to find out limit x tends to 0 of fx. What is that question? So, if you substitute x is equal to 0 in this, it is coming root 1 minus 1 by 0. Minus 1, it is 0 by 0, indeterminate form. So how to evaluate this? Now we have to rationalize this. So let us limit. So before that, what is the rationalizing factor? A rationalizing factor of a given algebraic expression is that expression which, when multiplied with the given expression, will give you a rational number. That's called the rationalizing factor. We call it as a RR. See, for example, root A plus root B. And rationalizing factor for this is root A minus root B. Why this is a rationalizing factor? Just let us multiply this. Root A whole square minus root B whole square. That is A minus B. A is a real number, B is a real number, A minus B is another real number. It is coming a real number. So therefore this is a rationalizing factor of this, or this is the rationalizing factor of that. So like that, we have to find out the rationalizing factor of that and multiply numerator and denominator by that. Root of 1 plus x minus 1 by x. Multiply this by 1 plus x plus 1 by root of 1 plus x plus 1. As x tends to 0, this value will not be 0 at all. All are positive quantities. So I can multiply numerator and denominator by that non-zero numbers. Now come. A minus B into A plus B. That is A square minus B square by x into root of 1 plus x plus 1. That is equal to limit x tends to 0, 1 plus x minus 1 by x into root of 1 plus x plus 1. This get cancelled and this get cancelled with this. So that is ultimately limit x tends to 0, 1 by root of 1 plus x plus 1. We already discussed at any point of time during evaluations, whenever if the real value comes, that is the value of the limit. So substitute x equal to 0 in this. 1 by root of 1 plus 0 plus 1, that is equal to 1 by 2. So like this, some functions we got to rationalize this, then we can evaluate the limits. The fourth one is using formula. First method is direct applications. Second is 0 by 0 form. Third one is rationalizing this. Fourth one is direct. We have seen one example, 0 by 0, one example, this by this. Now the fourth one is using formula. What formula? We already studied binomial theorems. In the binomial expansion also we have studied what is x power n minus a power n by x minus a. The limit x tends to a. This value itself, n into a power n minus 1, is another formula. This formula we are going to apply there in evaluating the limits. Say for example, limit x tends to 2, x power minus 16, x minus 2. So that is equal to limit x tends to 2, x square minus 2 power x power 4 you can take it as 2 power 4 by x minus 2. 16 can be written as 2 to the power of 4. X is x power 4. So this is similar to this x power n minus a power n by x minus a. Here n is equal to 4 and a is equal to 2. So 4 into 2 power 4 minus 1. N is equal to 4, a is equal to 2. N into a power 4 minus 1. That is equal to 4 into 2 to the power of 3. That is 4 into 8. That is 32. The same another problem it is, one more, similar is coming to this shape. This is not directly of this form, it is. The formula says very clearly x power n minus a power n by x minus a. Then only the formula is applicable as n into a power n minus 1. Here x power n minus 1, x power 15 minus 1 by this. So that can be written as limit x tends to 1 of x power 15 minus 1 by x minus 1 into x minus 1 by x power 10 minus 1. I am multiplying numerator denominator by x minus 1, which is a non-zero quantity. Why? Because x is tending to 1. So x minus 1 not equal to 0. So therefore I can divide and multiply. So that is equal to, so algebra limits, we have seen that limit of the product is equal to product of the limits. So limit of the product, that is limit x tends to 1 by x power 15 minus 1 by x minus 1 into limit x tends to 1 x minus 1 by x power 10 minus 1. That can be written as limit x tends to 1 x power 15 minus 1 by x minus 1 into 1 upon limit x power 10 minus 1 by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. The fourth formula of the algebra of limits reciprocals. So that is equal to 15 into 1 power 15 minus 1 n into a power n minus 1. Here n is equal to 15, a is equal to 1. So 15 into 1 power 15 minus 1 into 1 upon 10 into 1 power 10 minus 1. That is, this is nothing but 1. So 15 into 1 by 10. That is 3 by 2. So to sum up, my dear children, today we have seen how to evaluate the limits. 4 different ways of evaluating the limit. We have seen that. One is a direct method, another is a 0 by 0 form, another is a by using the formula of the nature x power n minus a power n by x minus a as x tends to a. The fourth one we have seen that is a using formula. So these are with the 4 methods. You see that another one we are going to see that if a function is a trigonometric function, a logarithmic function, an exponential function, any type of functions, we can evaluate their limits. That we are going to see that in the next class.